everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by for the first time. If you enjoy today's content, please consider subscribing. Click on the like button. It helps my channel to grow. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for supporting my channel from week to week. Alright, you guys, I cannot believe it is already time for another deck of TBR. It is coming into August. I know I am doing this slightly a week early, but I go back to work this Wednesday. Wow, where did summer go? But yeah, so we are going to go into deck of TBR. I'm going to give you a brief update on the books that I had to read but the books chosen for July. And then we're going to get into our drawings. I have a set of books that I really need to fit into August TBR, into this game. So we hope that it gets done. Otherwise, it may not be a successful August deck of TBR. So let's quickly go through the books that I was supposed to have read for my deck of TBR for July. So if I can get back to that page. Alright, Deadly Sting. This was for clubs. I did read it. I loved it. I talked about it in a recent reads video, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Loved it. Talked about what I wanted to do to one of the characters. But yes, did highly enjoy it. Loving the series. So good. Trying to keep it in somewhat of an order of the pulls. This one, Inspection, I was so disappointed. I ended up DNFing this book. It was a second chance read for this one. It was for genre, Six of Hearts genre. But yeah, I was so disappointed. It went into a route I was not comfortable with. Only got 20-something or so pages in. I got very uncomfortable with what it was talking about and where I thought it was heading, so I ended up DNFing it. And I very rarely get that uncomfortable with topics being discussed in books. But yeah, so I ended up DNFing this book. So that one went away. Alright, and then this book, Afraid to Fall by Sutton Bishop. And that other one was by Josh Malerman, was my DNF book. This one I gave it a 2-star rating because of the ending. But I did talk about it more in depth in a recent reads video. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. So that one was there. I'll have to put a picture up on the screen for my Kindle read, which was Mason. I loved the Project Arma books. They were so good. Again, I talked about it more in depth again in a recent reads video. But yes, I loved Mason's story. It was awesome. So I think it was a 4 to 5-star rating. But finished it. So we're starting off really good. I did that one, and then I think the last book that was on for the picks was Keepers of the Lost Cities. I finished this book. I love this series. I think it was in a recent reads video as well. This is the one I started back in February of last school year of 2021-2022 school year. My years are feels different than most people's, but that's what I considered last year. I love this series. I will have a vlog coming up before this video comes out talking about book 2 of this series. So yeah, I loved it. So that was the actual picks, and then I had other books that I've read as well. Shadow Academy this was for Quest-A-Thon. That's what July was combining with. I was disappointed in this one, but I did finish it. It just felt weird. This is the book that I love this book. There will be a vlog on this one. This is book 2, Exile from Keepers of the Lost City. I love this book. 5 stars for sure. I also finished Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I talked about it in a recent reads video. love that book as well. I was surprisingly surprised about Spinning Silver. It is a retelling. I talked about it also in a recent reads video by Naomi Novik. I enjoyed this one so much, and I want to pick up, I think it was Uprooted, because I enjoyed this retelling so much. I typically don't enjoy retellings, especially fairy tale retellings. It's just not a genre that I particularly enjoy, but that one was well done. And then the last book that I read so far this month, and I have a week left, but might squeeze one more book in. This was Look For Me by Lisa Gardner. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4-star rating. So, those are all of the books that I read, all of the picks. I read all but one, which was a DNF, but I did attempt it. So, yeah, I managed to do very well. I completed my journey for Quest-A-Thon. So, all in all, it was a great reading month. So, I'm excited about that. So let me set these books aside so we can get started into our new draws. So I have my deck of cards. Still have not put in the old ones back in. So if you're new here, I started this game, I think it was around November of last year of 2021, if I remember right, because I was having difficulty getting into what I wanted to read. So I'm using this as a guide for my reading. And now we're doing themes, adding an extra guide, extra component to make it even more challenging to fit books into my TBR. So we're having a lot of fun over here in my channel. So I'm just quickly trying to shuffle up these few cards that I have. And the other caveat to this, I don't have a board per se because there's just not a lot of room. And with 2 cats, especially Nyx. If you're new to my channel, she likes to shred things. She likes to knock things over. It's just a mischief-making kitty cat. She would not handle a board well. So I have all of my different prompts on board that would typically be on a board on different wheels on my phone. So outside of the kings, aces, jacks, and queens, all the other prompts are on my wheels. The face cards I have in on paper, and they have specific meanings for them, and I'll tell you what those are as we get to them. One last shuffle and we'll get started. Alright. Okay. Alright, again, 5 draws. Hopefully we can get, I think there are 7 books I would like to get on, trying to keep it somewhat manageable, being that I am starting back to work this week and this month as a general, so we're going to try to keep the number of books down if at all possible. We're going to try to fit all of my books for my theme, which is Dragon's Realm Bingo, onto this deck of TBR. And all of my books that I have are all KU or scribed books. I think there's 1 or 2 that I've actually purchased off of my Kindle that were ebooks, so I don't have physical books to show you, so I'll have to pop up pictures for you. So I kind of scooched over to be able to put them up on the screen for you guys. Alright, so I think that's everything that I needed to talk to you guys, and she just bumped the tripod, so, and let's get to drawing. You will know my cards before I do. So we got 9 of diamonds. All right. So this is physical aspect of a book. That ought to be fun. Hardcover. Well, that's not going to work for any of my dragon books because none of those are physical books. So let me go over to my project books that I need to read and choose one that is a hardcover book. Alright, we're starting off great. That wasn't too bad. I've been hearing a ton of really good things about The Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. So it's a hardcover. So this is book 1 for August TBR. It is not a dragon book, but it is going on my TBR. We have an ace. So this is a face card. So what do we have there? Our face cards. This is actually, we get to shuffle all of our cards back in. That's the first time I've gotten a reshuffle. So we are going to reshuffle all of our cards in. So we don't wait until all of my cards are out. We are shuffling all back in. That means all jokers, everything is back up for grabs. All right, that's the first time that has happened. So that all decks, all cards are back into play. So we are reshuffling it all up. It's bound to happen because I hadn't pulled an ace yet since November, so it was gonna happen. So we'll get one more shuffle and we will continue our draws. That's what I love about this game. It's a game of chance. You never know what's gonna happen. All right, one last one. Here we go. Okay. What do we get? What do we get? Put it down. Hopefully it's focusing. Okay, 4 diamonds. Another aspect, physical aspect. Maybe this one I can squeeze in, depending on what the aspect is. All right, here we go. Three or more word title. I might be able to get that off of my dragon books. 3 or more word title. All right, so I think for this one I'm going to do Monsters of Air. This I think is either a dark romance or a fantasy romance dealing with dragons. So I'm going to choose it, and I will put, of course, a picture up on the screen for you guys. So it looks very intriguing. Definitely up my alley, kind of a shifter romance, fantasy romance type of book dealing with dragons. So I will put that one for the 3 or more word title. So that is the one I'm going to choose. Got one of my dragon books. Yay! Onto my TBR. All right, the deck back. What do we have? Another ace. We will reshuffle them again. So we're reshuffling again. It took me almost a year to get aces, and now we're getting them back to back. Interesting. And one more. All right. What do we get this time? You will know before me. All right, 2 of diamonds. Diamond suits. You see me shuffle, you hear me shuffle, but diamonds are a hit. It really wants me to challenge the physical aspect. 2 of diamonds. All right, 2 of diamonds. Over 400 pages. All right. So over, hopefully you can see it. So what I'm choosing is Black Coast by Mike Brooks is the one I'm going to choose. It is off again for my Dragon's Realm bingo that I'm doing this in August. So I'm going to choose it. It has 424 pages, so it makes for the physical aspect of having over 400 pages. So it meets that requirement. So yay, going for that. Doing good, good, good. Squeezing that in. So far I have 3 books, and I've had 2 shuffles already. make it work. All right, going on for pull number 4, for book number 4 at least. And we've already had five draws, but only 3 books so far. So for the 4th book, hopefully. What do we have? What card do we have? All right, King of Hearts. At least it's a different suit, but I don't remember what the kings are. Oh, it's a random color generator, and that has to be. All right, so let me go find color generator. You never know what these are going to do. All right, so we're starting off with kind of this tealy water blue color, and then we're going to generate. It says chrome green, so a green color. So that is our color. I don't know how well you can see that translated. It's a dark green color. Hunter dark green color. See if any of my books on my Kindle has that color. If not, I will go and see if I can pull one off of my to be read bookcase that I need to read. So Crystal Dragon, this is by Katie Cherry, I believe is her name. Has that kind of muted dark green, hunter green, all of that mixture of that green color for my color generator. So that is what I'm going to be choosing. All right, so that would be, I think, book 4. Yep. And we have one more draw, cross our fingers, and then I'll tell you all the other books that potentially I'm going to read to do my bingo for August. Yeah. All right, crossing our fingers, and we will have our 5th and final draw, hopefully. Oh, there we go. And we have 2 of spades. Get it right this time. Woo-hoo. 2 of spades. So this is prompts. A retelling. I don't know if I have a retelling. Alright, so what I will do is I'm going to look on Kindle Unlimited for retellings. So it looks like there are a few, and I will come back on my update and let you know on that way I don't have to purchase any books, because I have several that I need to read, and I don't want to just buy books just to fit a prompt. Spinning Silver would have been a great one had I gotten that one, but I didn't. So that was the only retelling I know I had, and I don't want to purchase Uprated right now if I don't have to. So I'm going to look at Kindle Unlimited and see if I can find a retelling that I'm interested in, because I don't want to just a quick do one and just have it, but I will know that it needs to be a retelling. And then when I do my update at the end of the month, I will let you know which one I chose to fit that prompt. So that's how we're going to leave that particular one, because I don't have a retelling, because I typically don't do a lot of retelling books because I don't enjoy them for the most part. So the other books that I need to read for this month for my theme of dragon books, so we have that I will be reading is Black Coast, is one of the ones that made it onto my deck of TBR. The other book that made it on was Monsters of Air and Crystal Dragon. So those are the 3 books out of my possible 7 that I need to read to make my bingo. So those are 3 that I need to read for sure. The other ones that are potential ones are Firefighter Dragon, and then Flight of the Dark Star Dragon is another one. The Shadow of the Gods was the last one. So those are all of my 7 dragon books for the month of my dragons that I want to read. You're welcome to join us. Again, you only have to read, I potentially only have to read 4 books, because you can double up prompts for them, up to 2 prompts per book to make your bingo, unless you're planning on doing a blackout bingo, but that is completely up to you. I would love for you to join us if you want to. It's not too late to do that. So get your books together if you want to join us. And I will put a link down below for my Discord group that will be active so that you can join us. You can follow me on Kim's Book Corner on Instagram. That's where you can get the bingo board. I'll have it listed in my highlights. And then again, if you want to join the Discord group where we're going to talk about it more in depth there as well with our progress and all of that, and what books we are reading and all of the good stuff there as well. The board is listed in its section on the Discord as well. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Actually got to shuffle my cards in. Wasn't expecting that twice. So that was fun. I'm excited about this upcoming month. So yeah, have you read any of these authors? It was, like I said, a kind of a whirlwind of a deck of TBR as usual. This is just a fun way of picking my TBR. Not a lot of physical books this time around, just for the nature of these books that I'm choosing this time. But anyways, I had a blast doing it as usual. I hope you had fun along with me, coming along on this journey with me. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave me some comments down below. All the engagement helps. And until my next video, you guys, happy reading.